Oh, greetings, I have noise site broadcast by Fifth Dimension. Alright, so I'm going to continue in the why not, right? Probably going to finish it off eventually. Um, I might play around with it a little bit more, at least the subject matter, so I'm not doing any of this shit. Fucking keep that, I got enough problems. Um, but I think it's another way of understanding the higher dimensions. People have been through these situations, like DMT. You look online and look on YouTube, people are talking about their experiences. There's another one called Slavia, or whatever it's called. I'll post it up here. Where people they've had experiences with their, I'd say it's funny. It's not funny, but like they're a deck of cards, and they feel like they're that deck. It's being given out to people, and they're that. It's like being a chair, but worse, or like a clock, a hand of a clock. The clocks have the different hands. And you're just sitting there, and it's one way to realize how the other dimensions. Yeah, everything has consciousness, and it's just. I think the other one was where the guy. He was a toy and it was being put together on an assembly line. So that's fun. That's not DMT. That's Slavis. DMT was, I guess he went to the higher dimensions and talked to an alien, and the alien wanted to give him all this information and couldn't handle it. So you just gotta be careful with this stuff. The DMT I think was a lot easier than the Slava, whatever you call it, was like more just. Yeah, doesn't. Imagine if you're a toilet seat or something like that. Jeez. sounds like a blast. But at least it gives you an idea of how. People are looking for research. Those type of things. If you mean that's another level of research that. At least it gives you a better understanding of higher dimensions, because over time we'll start to understand it better. Because some people are already connecting to this stuff, they're not on drugs at all. They don't fully understand it. They see there's something else there, but it freaks them out, obviously, because they're not used to it. So just because it's some people feel a lot of fear, some because it's different. Doesn't mean it's negative. It's a weird world, Well, if you're an alien being and you're talking to a deck of cards or something like that, or whatever, talking to the consciousness of it, or if you're talking to a toilet seat, because I imagine that exists. So different types of realities, different types of world with the alien beings that aren't used to this type of dense energy, and you're doing these drugs, and you're a human, and you're not really you're not really built to connect to some of that stuff. But at least it gives you an idea of what the other worlds are around you. I don't know if it's called cheating. It can be, but everybody has to experience something. So, at least it gives you an idea of the higher dimensions of what's going on. Some people can easily connect to it, but not everybody can. And some people, that's where they want to go back to that. If you want to go back to being a clock, go right ahead. People have been, like a clock energy, or you've been an actual clock and you incarnated as human or whatever. What do you think some of these people are good at fixing things? They used to be a car in another incarnation on another planet or somewhere. Why do you think they're good at mechanics, or a spaceship or whatever it might be, because you've been one. Some people have had dreams where they were AI energies, so however you want to look at it. So, makes sense. Yeah, the truth. Yeah, all this fourth dimensional talk is all exciting and everything, and then you start experiencing it, and then maybe it's not the walk in the park as you thought it would be, because it's freaking weird. It just is. You have Zetas, you have Palladians, you have a bunch of weird shit too. A talking tomato or whatever the hell it is. Yeah, it's not exactly your. It's just. So. In our soul transformation, like cars, you can. You want a talking car? Everybody's car can technically talk now. You gotta connect to the consciousness of it. So how many people are ready for that? Or your bike, or your skateboard, or whatever it is, your chair, or whatever. I mean, that is the fourth dimension. So processing all of that at once gets kind of overwhelming, but we will eventually. I guess those are new kind of problems. I guess so. Yeah, it's because trees can move, chairs can move, anything can move technically, but we're not ready to experience that. So, like a talking house and all of that, we're just not fully. Obviously, not all aliens experience something like that, but they do exist. Everything you can think of exists somewhere. So, it's just getting used to it. So, we're just going into the realm. Yeah, so people are talking about this new Earth and all that. Are you sure about that? It's like, you ready to have a conversation with your sofa? It's like, obviously, they might not want that in their reality, but that doesn't mean it doesn't exist somewhere. You might have a sofa that you threw out a couple years ago trying to contact you, and you're talking with aliens and their spaceships. I'm being serious. It's like, so, talk about this new Earth. Yeah. There's a whole nother vocabulary you have to bring in. So it's not as wonderful as some might think. That was the other thing I picked up is that some beings can be at the higher dimensions very easily, but others can go into the dark really fast also. Just takes something to push you over to the edge, just like here. But there, I think it's faster. I mean, you become a dark being instantly, and really cause some shit to everybody. So that was different. Here, it's a gradual process. You kind of see somebody go insane, but in the fourth dimension, that's not always the case. They can just flip out of nowhere. Now, some might notice there are indications of it. Even that person's not aware of it. But you just flip over. You just flip out, and all of a sudden you're the villain out of nowhere. I believe that does occur, and it's not. Being an alien maybe not what it's cracked up to be. Yeah, the fourth dimension has even like some say like the fifth dimension is a little bit easier. I don't know if it's easier in any real. I mean, yeah, it's easier than here, but it has its own problems. Every dimension has its own. I talk about the fifth dimension. Welcome to the fifth dimension. Because there is a little bit less. I mean, there's less gaudy problems there, but doesn't mean you're out of it completely now. Even the 12th dimension has problems because they're all a bunch of assholes running around thinking, "Oh, we know everything. Look at us," and then it's like, they have issues too. Perfection, you have a problem with that too, because they know that they have flaws and they know they're not seeing, they're not dealing with their issues. So they know it's there. They just don't want to do anything about it. So you can't run away from everything. Nobody's ever perfect. It just doesn't exist. I mean, you might be a 12th dimension not having to pay any bills and living a life of luxury, but you have problems you gotta face eventually. I think there you can see it easier, and seeing it pisses you off even more. Here you don't always see it. Here you don't see shit. Well, you're dealing with it. So, you're dealing with it, so you're not going to see it. So it's bizarre. It's just, of course, the 12th dimension go up higher than that. Go up. You can go as high as you want. You can become more for yourself. I mean, eventually you have to come down. I mean, obviously, the third dimension has its positives. Obviously, it has its negatives, but it also has positives. Basically, kind of bringing alien beings down to Earth. You can say, kind of like you're facing your own shit, and it's not as easy. You gotta face your stuff eventually. That's what the purpose of this planet is. This world, other worlds too. Syrians go through it too. I feel like the Pleiadians have a softer version of it, but not like the Syrians are a little bit closer to us, because they always go through some kind of not every world, but there's a lot of chaos. I always feel chaos coming from them in some shape or form. It's not like this, but this has some similarities. Pleiadians It's a lot softer. A lot of them are freaking lazy as hell, and that can have issues, especially here. But even there, but it has its ups and positives of that. So you know, like what is it? Amazon is going, like in Seattle. Amazon's having a homeless shelter built, which is healing their karma because it caused a lot of those people to be homeless. I think it was LA's doing a city for homeless people. Uh, I don't know where they have room for that, but more power to them. That one's not being very clear. I think I saw something on the news about that. I don't know if they're ever going to do it. It's like a city. Yeah. But that does show alien energies coming in of, you're a human, you're being taken care of, which is good. You're not treated like an animal. Of course, some humans are going to act like animals. Well, they were used to being treated like one. Of course, they're going to act like one. It takes a while to heal all this shit. Because you're growing up being treated like a piece of shit, and then you're just not, and people take advantage of it, I'm not going into details, just, safety issues of being a homeless person is not fun. No matter who you are, whatever gender, it is harder for females than males in some regard, but still, it's not easy. And so it's just, it's a nightmare. So there's a lot of healing there. So yeah, we're waiting for this fourth dimensional world to come through, of course. But the war, like that, I would think that's worse than a lot of wars. Now the whole thing with Iran situation or Baghdad, I don't think Iran was technically involved with that, but it doesn't matter. Just propaganda. Just who cares? It's just we haven't healed yet. Basically, what it's telling us. We got a ways to go, but we're getting progress. I mean, that's still some. Well, let's say Iran. I mean, there has to be somewhere there's going to be issues. Iran is poking at the West. Maybe like it's, either way, you want to blame them or not. Either way, they're kind of going against the West because Iran's been treated like shit. So Iran, a lot of the propaganda is not correct. It's like North Korea. North Korea's been treated like crap too in a lot of ways. Obviously, there a lot of issues there too, but these governments play dirty. Obviously, you can just feel it. Like the CIA tries to take over the North Korea, try to assassinate, the leader there, just take it over and say, oh, he just got sick or something or whatever. They've done it before. Gaddafi is a perfect example of that. So, obviously, yeah. So there's stuff going on behind the scenes we're not fully aware of for obvious reasons. It doesn't mean they're not going on. So, all right. Oh yeah, I forgot. Man. Screw it for right now. ZimonTotal.com. We have private sessions about somewhere out the months, out the week, whatever. You can see the schedule here. Learn how to channel if you want. Google Hands and channeling. Yeah. Either way, it'd be recorded. and I'm on the 20th, I think, 21st, something like that, of last month. So I was going to answer more, but my energy's not doing so great. Same situation here. Channels and healers I do recommend. Social network. And awesomeness. And I have an Indiegogo thing going on. It's in the link down below. And I have something on that I'm going to add. Or anyway, I'm working on something on that, but it's not for the spiritual community, but it should be interesting where this is going. So, all right, DMT. Well, let's see where we get with all this. Maybe have a deck of cards come in, have a conversation. Yeah, so way I pick up on a lot of beings want to be here in different forms, like a fan, like a chair, like a house. There's energy, there's consciousness everywhere. Just like you're being a cow, a cat, whatever they go through, they'll take it. Because, like you say, they don't make worlds like this very often. Yeah, we have slaughterhouses here, and the cats they get beating too, but at least they had some time here. It's like they don't make. Yeah, there's not a world like this. Not exactly. There's no world that's exactly the same. But it's part of the experience, whatever they can get out of it, for better or for worse. Obviously, sometimes when you leave quicker is sometimes better. But either way, as you go into the higher dimensions, be able to control the populations here, especially like with animal populations, less food consumption, more vegetarians going to come in, yes, in the next few years. That was right. Female president energies are, you can say the door of that is opening more than ever before. It will not be Hillary Clinton. But Hillary Clinton was part of opening that door, and others of, I want to call it political influence. No matter, sometimes you need a wicked energy to do it, but either, however you want to look at it, doesn't matter. It's showing that we're going to a time of balance. When you have I know this is like way off the subject matter, but when you have a female president here, that shows that the Earth has really made a drastic change from its old ways, its old timelines. So it's willing to change. It's willing to bring more Lemurian energy in. Even Atlanteans, a lot of powerful Atlantean females that have not been mentioned for obvious reasons. Because a lot of them abused their power in the past. And that's why we're here where we are today. A lot of females are just super powerful and abuse the shit out of their abilities. Those are mostly Atlantean, not necessarily the Lemurian. So, and there's other civilizations they're not mentioning too that was there. Either way. So Lemurian energies are getting stronger. More healthcare will become more part of our society. And just a calming of conflict within the next few years, or several years. But this year, there's a lot of wounds of, yes, the male and female. A lot of it's the male energies are just not willing to face itself, meaning the male to face the feminine within itself. It's happening here and there, but still is a lot of masculinity, like in the war, like in military. There's actually a lot of feminine energy there that's being suppressed. You let that come through more, the feminine. That's when you have psychic abilities to awaken within the soldiers, within everyone. Then you have an earth transformation. Basically, you have more military personnel aware of more of their intuitions. You don't need, you don't need weapons anymore. It'd be psychic warfare is like now there is a version of it going on now, but it's very small. But think about your regular soldiers being more intuitive aware. Now they already are to a certain extent, but not as full capacity as they can be. That is where you're heading. When your war is coming to an end, and that's also when, the feminine gets stronger within the male, and with the female, the masculine gets more of a balance. And that's where male and female can talk to each other more clearly. Right now is a disconnect for various reasons, of course. The war within is basically male and female not getting along. That's within. Some females feel like they have to control the male because the female can't control herself. So I can control somebody else. But I'm trying to figure out how to control myself, how to trust myself. Some can't. Yeah. So yeah, some have trust issues. Usually has to do with within trust issues within, and so you're not. It's like a war within, of course. So the male and female balancing that, not easy, of course, and that heals the war within drastically. Basically, more psychic energies come through more clearly. Your aliens will appear. Your DMT, you are DMT. You power yourselves up. You plug into the earth. Your power within the earth is the male and masculine. It's a male and female, fully activated. Never quite always balanced, but balanced more than it is now. That's what makes this world so fascinating. It's the opposite of most planets. It's going through the darkness of other worlds, the hell of other worlds, other universes. This universe is an it's this universe itself is broken compared to other universes. It's never really right. It has to do with the prime creator energy of or the God energy here has always been kind of off. Off, just different. And broken doesn't mean wrong, just it's different. It's going a new path that most universes don't go into. And yes, a world of darkness, but so much learned from this place. It's like your world is at the bottom of the ocean. It's so dense. It's hard to think. It's hard to sleep. It's hard to anything. And that's what your world. Think of think of yourself as if you were at the bottom of the ocean. How that would be. Now think of yourself above the ocean. You probably feel more clear. Oh, I can hear this. I can say that. But you're at the bottom of the ocean and always there, which you are right now. That's why it's hard to have clarity. Now, some of you have a connection to the outer realms, but not many. So when you're so used to a density like this, you call it home, which most of your people are. But some of you know this isn't right. Well, it's right, but there's more to it. It's like 2 pages in a book stuck together. And you know there's more to the book. It's like those 2 pages, that's people, all they see is those 2 pages, that's it. But some of you realize you can open that up, and there's other pages outside, front and back. You know there's more going on, but some just have a tunnel vision. You're born into that reality of being kind of stuck, but many of you want to be free. So that's why those that are doing DMT, these different drugs, is to break free, like a keyhole. They know there's something else out there, but they can't figure out what it is. So they do the drugs to remember. But also they're giving others knowledge of this. Knowledge of your alien connections. Some need those kind of visuals to awaken. So it's respect all different experiences, even if that's not for you. It's not a cheat. You might see it as a cheat, but that's to come in as judgment. You have to let people live what they need to live. Everybody's different. They need to experience what they need to experience. Like some males need to wear drag. That might not be your thing, but that's their thing. Judgment is a major healing point. Just let people be what they need to be. And the world will start to speed up into more of what's going on here. Just be. But many of you know there's other. It's like the more you're not judging others and more calm within yourself, which is not as easy as it sounds, but yes, focusing on yourself, which is not easy, because many want to throw a relationship on you. And some relationships, yes, bad relationships come in to open you up to new knowledge, even if that's supposed to be a temporary connection, which is very hard. It's like a can opener. You're opening yourselves up. And it's just a difficult direction. But many of you are opening up further within. You need somebody to crack yourself open to see what else you have within yourself. That's what many of you are discovering at this time. And the new earth, well, this earth is going to, yes, of course, go through different transformations. That's what it's here for. But yes, it's going to be unlike anything your world has ever experienced. Because more of you are becoming more advanced. Not that you're better than others, but you're more advanced of what the higher dimensions have to offer. But of course, some will connect to it and become arrogant. They're here to heal that too. Just here to go with the flow. But yes, the old trappings of third dimension are coming to an end. So some of you will see the future more clearly, but right now, what matters is now. Which is not so easy either. The future will come through when it needs to. Like the polar ice caps and everything. Bullshit. When it's needed. What matters now is that you are comfortable in your shoes. And the rest of the world, the puzzle of the universe will come. Yes, the universe is. It is good to yell at or your guides. It is good to reach. It is good to express, your pain. If you feel like you're being treated not well, they need to hear you. Some of you just let them walk. You can let a spirit guide walk all over you. And you become their bitch. And some of you say, I don't think so. It's now not everybody has that, but some do. And you know something's not right around you. Well, sometimes guys have to be bullies to get you to change things too. So not everything's meant to change. Isn't always meant to happen constantly or every year. Your build up to what you're ready for. You're not always ready. Sometimes you think you know what you're ready for, but it's going to be something completely, totally different. So, open to grow. Yeah, it's like opening a business, exactly. You might have this type of business idea, but then you feel something else is coming through you instead. It's flow with it. It's like you have another opening within yourself. You feel like the spirit beings are with you on this. It's just like flow with it. 'Cause some people have an idea for a business. They feel like everybody wants it. In truth, nobody wants it, just you. But there's a growth there too. But you realize you are all here to offer something to somebody, not just yourself. It's time for a new awakening. We are from spirit. There's a lot of tough lessons here. Us spirit beings we need this too, not just you, because we are hard-headed also. So for you to hit back at us, angry at us, we need to hear it, even if we don't like to hear it. We're like children too. We don't want to hear. I mean, we don't want to hear the truth either. We think we have it all figured out too, but sometimes we don't. And many of you realize that. Sometimes you can see it better in your reality than we can see it in ours. So comfort is positive, but also going to be negative. Because we all get too lazy. You and us get lazy. It's like, wow, I'm living this comfortable life, but I feel like I can do something more. Taking chances, going out there, yes, breaking the comfort mold, the hardest thing ever. Is to, yes, and it's hard. Sometimes you do it and nothing comes of it, but that has to do with soul growth that can't always be answered yet. Some people feel, so you get all this money, they think, oh, I'm going to make this business work, and then nothing works. Like I said, we can't go into the full detail of that at this time, but that has to do with a lot of inner work. That has, it's like sometimes you're thankful for hitting bottom, for you to rise to the top. You need these failures. Because the failure makes you stronger, basically. And failure hurts. But the pain is there to build you as a stronger infrastructure. To weather the stress of what's to come. It's like failure, failure, failure. Now I'm stronger, stronger, stronger. Even if I'm pissed off with the world and the universe and everybody else around it. But also when trouble comes, you can handle it better. So having things work for you is nice. But doesn't always benefit you or anybody else. Because when things go to... If you're used to everything working out for you and then life turns and kicks your ass and you just fall down and you might lose everything. So that's why you fail in the beginning. So you have a hard, strong infrastructure. So when the pain does come in, you can handle it all. So it's never easy to explain or to understand. So blessings. Okay, that came out of nowhere. All right. Hopefully I was helpful much for everyone.